welcome everyone to our show today. I know it's a little bit different view right now. We don't have our usual host, Chinyan, but Steve and I are taking over the spot today for an English broadcast, and we have a really special guest today, Ernest Garcia, now a friend of a few years of mine and longtime resident of Silicon Valley, who's here to give a little talk on the history of Silicon Valley and where this culture of creativity came from in the Bay Area. So I'll let Ernest give the rest of his own introduction.
Thank you very much, Mike, and everybody. Thank you for listening in. I think that was a good introduction. I will add that I've lived in San Francisco since 1954, and I feel like I know San Francisco pretty well, and Silicon Valley. I have seen how Silicon Valley has developed through the years, from the time it was an agricultural area to the present, which it is not anymore. And today I want to speak about the evolution of San Francisco and Silicon Valley and how it became a center of innovation and entrepreneurship. Everybody around the world, wherever I travel, they always say, oh, that's the place for innovation, for entrepreneurship. And one thing I want to bring to your attention today is that if you look back at the history of San Francisco itself, the city of San Francisco, which was founded in the middle 1800s, you will see that much of the culture of that time is very much like the culture that exists now, and that is what I would like to show for you today. What do I mean by the culture of San Francisco and Silicon Valley? There are a few things that I would like to say about that. Basically, the area has people that have a passion for success. Of course, everybody in the world wants to succeed, but here, of course, it is legendary. People come here seeking new opportunities, and they have optimism about the future. It was the same for the first people who came to San Francisco. There's a coexistence within a diversity of subcultures. By subcultures, I mean, for instance, people who speak different languages, different races, different religions, just every type of person. When San Francisco was first created, it was the whole world wanting to come here, just like it is now. Also, it's an area where there are problems just like everywhere else, but there is a culture of solving problems and looking at problems from different, new perspectives, sometimes to the point of leaving what is the past, practices of the past, and just completely looking at a problem from a new perspective. The willingness to undertake big goals and to share ideas. That has been the same throughout the history of San Francisco and Silicon Valley. In San Francisco, because it's just a small little peninsula surrounded on three sides by water, very small location, people quite naturally had to share information. They had no choice. It wasn't a big expanse of land. People were willing to take risks. People who came to this area in the middle 1800s were taking big risks. Many of them were leaving comfortable homes in Europe, in the east coast of San Francisco, in South America, Asia, including China. Some were not comfortable and needed to find a better way of life. But in any case, it was always related to risk-taking, sometimes very big risks. Also learning, networking, and nurturing relationships. If you visit San Francisco, if you visit Palo Alto, where we're sitting right now, you will see that it's very easy to engage people in conversation. That's nurturing of relationships. Mike, in his very kind introduction, referred to me as a friend of a good number of years now. That is just the best way to nurture relationships. Also, the investment in research and development. When people first came to San Francisco, if they did find fortune as part of the opportunities that they took advantage of, they didn't look at whatever they found. They did something with it. And when you do something with something that's valuable, such as gold, you're investing. You're developing your resources. Also, the development of industries and business flexibility. Business flexibility is something that people often forget as being part of the history of this area here. In order for companies to survive from the time of the gold rush until now, some of which became very big companies, you have to be very flexible in your business model. Times change.